Everyone always talks about what is new in the makeup world. New formulas, new palettes that we can try, the new top trending products. But rarely do we sit down and reflect on the older products that slip through our fingers that still keep us up at night, thinking about what if we bought that palette? What if I tried that lip product? I still think about you. I still miss you. And so today I'm going to be talking about 10 products that slip through my fingers that I still daydream about, that I still wish I owned. Now, even though these are not discontinued, I could go out and buy them, but for one reason or another, I just haven't. So it should be interesting to discuss some of these products today. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe. I upload every single day here on my channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup. Today I've gone more pink, which is different for me. Very different, but this was my subscribers pick my makeup video, so definitely go and check that out if that is live. If not, it will be live in a few days. But also subscribe because I do a lot of project panning, a lot of get ready with me's, shop my stashes, all that kind of fun stuff. So if that sounds like a good time, stick around. This is also the last video that I'm filming before I leave for a week. I will not be in the studio all week because I'm getting a new dog. Oh my goodness me, I'm so excited. So yeah, stay tuned because you'll be meeting Stan very, very soon. The first product that I want to talk about isn't necessarily a super old product. When I say like old, sometimes like 2 months is old in the makeup world. Sometimes even 1 month is old. So I've tried to have a mixture of like somewhat kind of new products and also quite old products. But the Ethereal Eyes Moonlight Palette, I should have bought this. I'm not going to buy this now because my kind of rule is if I'm going to buy a new eyeshadow palette, it needs to be worth a review. Obviously, I review makeup. That is part of my job. So I'm trying not to just buy random eyeshadow palettes all the time. I do get sent a hell of a lot. So if I purchase one myself, it has to be worth the purchase. I should have bought this when it released because this is a beautiful kind of taupe and blue palette, which is my middle name, Caitlin Taupe and Blue Costello. That's me. The reason why I didn't buy it is because sometimes I have a little bit of a thing with money, and this is like over £60. It's a lot of money. And I was like, I don't really want to spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette, like even though it's beautiful. But I soon changed my mind when I saw this in person. I went for a shopping trip in Manchester in December and I swatched these shades in person. And I should have bought it. It is the most stunning thing ever. But you know what? I'm gonna have to pull myself away from it. I'm gonna have to stop thinking about it because it is so stunning and beautiful and sparkly and gorgeous, and it is exactly what I want in a palette. But unfortunately, I was just a bit too late. It is not personally worth it to me now. I know that I will love it for a few days and then it'll go in my drawers and it'll be under the heap of palettes. I know that unfortunately it just will not be worth the purchase for me at this point in time. Maybe if I'd have bought it straight off the bat, it would have been, but I was too slow. Next is another thing that like I feel like I'm turning. I feel like I'm going through a weird transition phase. I really like wearing taupes. Like, what's wrong with me? Obviously, I still love my colour. I still love my blues. I am, again, wearing like purple and blue today. I still love that. But on my days off, if I'm just going to Aldi or if I'm teaching, I am a teacher for 1 day a week, I really love taupes. So the Too Faced Born This Way Cold Smolder Nudes palette, that was a tongue twister to try and get out, really jumped out at me. Now, I have tried two Too Faced palettes in the past. I've tried the Sweet Peach and the Pumpkin Spice, and I really liked both of those formulas, but the colour stories were just too warm. I don't like warm tones. So this little palette, oh, it was nice. The reason why I did not buy that is because I do have the That's Taupe from Colourpop, and it's a very, very similar colour story. I won't show this to you because this is actually my Pan That palette, and it has bits of other palettes in here right now. But I have a taupe palette. I have taupes. I have cool tone browns. I have a hell of a lot of them. And do I need another one? No. No. But I have to keep telling myself that. I try to be conscious about what I buy, and I try to be conscious about how I spend money. I don't want to be spending money on a bunch of stuff that I already own, but this really got me, and I don't know why, because normally I'm like blue, in your face, bright colour, and this one made me really stop and reflect, because I was quite shocked. Next is a product that I've wanted for, when I say years, and I just have not got around to it. These are the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine Glosses. Another tongue twister there. I don't even think these are particularly groundbreaking products. However, just the packaging, something about it gets me. And I have wanted one of these for so long. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it is just the fact that like it's like thin and like rectangular. It does something to my brain and I cannot tell you what it is. I love a glossy lip anyway. Like this matte lip trend, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hate it so much. So a gloss, I'm always a little bit of a stan for a gloss. Oh my god, Stan. That's my new dog's name. I'm picking him up tomorrow. You guys are going to be so fed up at this dog talk. But there's just something about this product that makes me want to buy it so bad, and I can't give you a reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the range of colours, like it could be. Like there's a good range of colours in there, but I know I'd be so boring and just choose like a brownie nude like I always do. So yeah, it's a mystery, but I'm still, my heart goes a little bit when I see that. Next is like a bit of a classic. I don't think I will ever actually buy this, but the thought of owning the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlight is like top achievements. Like if I won the lottery, what would I buy? This. Not because I like particularly like need it, but just because. This is one of those like sparkly topper eyeshadow shades for me. I would never wear this as a highlight. I like quite smooth highlights. I don't like shimmery, glittery highlights. Eyeshadows, different story. I would just use this as an eyeshadow every single day. However, I do already own Mitchell Drip Drip, which is a very, very similar thing, just in liquid form. So I know that I don't need this. But my brain is like, but everyone was saying that it was so good. I did actually swatch this in store one day, and it was okay. I think it's more having it than using it. That's why I want it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about, or am I just waffling absolute nonsense? I think it's more just that the act of buying it and owning it is more appealing to me than actually using it and enjoying it, and that is why I have not bought it. I've not bought it because I know I'll use it on my eyes once, go, oh my god, this is so pretty and amazing and beautiful. Maybe I'd use it again, and then it'd go in my eyeshadow drawer, and I'd forget all about it. That is what happens to Drip Drip all the time. All the time. So I'm not going to have Drip Drip Part 2, Gathering Dust. Would I use this? Yeah, I would. I do love things like this, but it's huge as well. It's like a massive highlight size pan. That's way too overwhelming. I'm passing. I'm tearing myself away. I don't need it. Number 5 was something that was on a wish list a few years ago now. I'm not sure if this is still available, but this is the Blend Bunny Juicy Cheeks palette. This again is something that like, would I actually use? Or do I just really like the look of it? That's what I'm playing with right now. Blush, I love a nice good blush. I'm wearing a little bit of a mauvey blush today. I do like warm blushes sometimes. Like, as I said, I love cool tone taupe eyeshadows. I love cool eyeshadows. Anything cool, sign me up. So would I realistically be rocking an orange blush every single day? Probably not. I do have Fenty Sangria Sunset and Mimosa Sunrise, which does have an orange blush in it, and it also has a bright pink blush in it, which is kind of like a condensed version of this palette. I could not tell you the last time I used that. I don't know. So just judging from that, it just means I don't need it. I won't use it. It is so pretty, but I just can't. And also face palettes are on my no buy for 2025. I am not going to be buying any more face palettes because I don't use them. Part of the appeal of that face palette was the fact that I could get through a few things that are so neglected. However, this year for that face palette, I have 3 single products because now I've realised that because I've been focusing on that face palette for so long, I've now been neglecting my singles. So yeah, I'm not buying face palettes. Not doing it anymore. I can't do it. So this one, please stay in the past. I love you so much. You're so pretty. And my fantasy self would love you, but I just can't do it. Number 6. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. I'm not a jealous person, but everyone who got these in PR, I'm joking. I'm so happy for you. But this Serengeti highlights from What's Up Beauty. Oh my God, I want one so bad. But I'm not going to buy it because I know I would just sit there and look at it all day, every day. And I wouldn't use it. I'd just look at it. I love like Kenya, lions, animals, safaris. Like I want to be proposed to on a safari. I don't even have a boyfriend, but I've planned my whole proposal. I'm one of them girls apparently. I love this thing so much. I would never use it because I would never want to ruin the embossing on it. It's so pretty though. Like Africa, everything about Africa and safaris and Kenya and just everything about it is like a dream to me. And I want this highlight so bad, but I know I'd never use it. I know I would never use it. I know I wouldn't. But the little niggly feeling in my head is like, that's made for you. You know what? That is made for you. You're going to get it, but I'm not. I'm going to restrain myself, but it is so cute. What's Up Beauty? You've done such a good job on that. I nearly bought it. I nearly did, but I'm going to be strong. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be strong. Who remembers the Kaleidos 6-pan eyeshadow palettes? These were another thing. I wanted these so bad. And I don't know why, because a lot of these weren't really my colour story. I wanted all of them, by the way, just every shade, all of them. Looking back now, they were nice, but they're nothing that I'm like absolutely dying for. So I don't really know why I just was dreaming of these every day, every night. I dreamt about the Kaleidos 6-pan eyeshadow palettes because everyone was talking about them back in the day. I remember old school YouTube, those Kaleidos palettes were all over the internet. Those and those highlights, they're like super chunky box highlights. They would be a nightmare for me now. Oh my God, storing them? No, thank you. But these palettes were definitely something that I was like pulled into and influenced to not buy because I didn't end up buying them. But if I had my own money at that point, oh my goodness me, I would have bought those palettes in an absolute heartbeat. So it's quite a good job that I was the age that I was when all of that was going round. I don't think I'd even started at college when these were going round. I was in high school. I was earning £4 an hour at Chippy. Like, I was not the target audience for these. But I am still intrigued by Kaleidos. Like, they are a brand that intrigue me. They're a brand that are quite fun, quite colourful, quite quirky. So I would love to try something from them. I don't think I've ever tried anything from them. So it'd be really, really nice to try something. And those eyeshadow palettes were nearly the start of something, because I know I'd have bought them and been like, I love Kaleidos, I'm a stan, and I'd have bought everything. But I restrained myself. I didn't buy it. And now I think they are discontinued now, so I can't buy it even if I wanted to. Next is something else that isn't necessarily a new product, but the NYX Butter Melt blushes. Oh, I did buy the bronzer. However, I didn't buy the blush because it wasn't in stock on Beauty Bay when I made my order. I have been into Superdrug and Boots multiple times, and the only shades that are available are super dark reds and pinks. Now, I'm a pasty white ghost. Hello. Very pale. That would not work for me. That in conjunction with the fact everyone says that these are the most pigmented blushes you will ever use in your life. So I can't even like dull it down a bit. I can't even just really blend it because it's just going to be red. And I don't really fancy that look, to be honest. I love a good red blush, but one that's a little bit buildable and one that kind of, you know, isn't red in your face. I feel like these would just be pigment. Like the bronzer is pigmented. I've seen multiple people try these blushes and they are like, whoa, whoa. But they all just seem to be really pink shades. I like a nice, I don't know, like a nice little peach moment. But whenever I go into Boots or Superdrug or even online, there's just no peach shades. Like why? I don't really understand. I do think they do them, I think. But they all just seem really, really, really pink. And I'm just not into that. I'm not into a pink blush. Give me a peach any day. I'll be really, really happy. So maybe I'll just sit and wait for a peach to come out. Maybe if it already is, I'll just wait for it to become available. And I'll be patient. And maybe one day I'll buy it. But for right now, I feel pretty good with my blush collection. I got rid of 25. Is it 25 blushes? No, I have 25 blushes. I think I got rid of like 10, something like that. I got rid of like 10 blushes in my recent blush declutter series, which I'm very, very proud of. So I'm not about to be inundating myself with a bunch of new blushes because that is not fair. That is not fair on the blushes that made the cut. I'm going to enjoy what I own before I bombard myself with new things. At number 9, we're coming to the end of this list now. These are the Anastasia Lip Velvets. Oh, I remember when these came out. And I really, really wanted one. Again, going back to that like matte lip trend, hate them with a passion. So anything that's more like comfortable, velvet, moussey kind of texture, I'm all over. I recently bought one of the Anastasia Satin Bullet lipsticks. I have like PTSD from their matte lipsticks. I bought so many of those from TK Maxx and my lips felt like concrete afterwards. They were the most drying, horrible things I've ever used in my life. But the satin formula is so much nicer and so much more comfortable. So when they came out with the lip velvets, I was like, oh, they look so good. And you know what? It's that price point. Can we bring it down a little bit? Just a little bit. I am very frugal and I am very conscious about money. Again, I don't know why. I don't need to be. Like, I could buy these fine. I wouldn't even notice. But I just get scared. I get scared of spending money and I just can't do it. And by the time that I start and I really like sit down and think, you know what? I'm going to buy it for myself. The hype's over. No one's talking about them anymore, which I mean doesn't really matter. But when you kind of review makeup and talk about makeup online, you kind of got to be in there quick. And I'm awful at that. I'm really bad at that because I second, third, fourth guess every decision when it comes to like spending money. And I just need to just do it. Just do it. And finally, at number 10, this is the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette. This is so up my street and it would be so used and abused by me, but kind of similar to that Too Faced palette that we talked about before. I have this and I'm working on this and I don't need, what is it, like 30 pans? 30 to 40 pans? That's a lot of taupes. Like I love taupes, but I also love other colours as well. And this palette seems to be a palette for people who don't have 50 eyeshadow palettes like I do. This is like That's Taupe on steroids. I love my That's Taupe palette. I think it's so cute and so amazing and perfect for what I want. But do I want to be panning 30 of these shades? Not really. Not really. That's a lot of choice and it's a little bit overwhelming. Again, look, love taupes. Really, really do. Like, love you so much. But that is a lot. And big palettes always tend to get neglected from me. I do have like a stack of palettes that are like too big to go in my drawers and they're just never reached for. So I know that I'd never, ever, ever use this, even though it's really, really pretty. And I do still think about it. But this is it. Let me know what you think of this video. What is an older makeup product that you still daydream about? Leave it down below. Maybe I'll have to go and check it out. Maybe it's a proper OG product that I forgot to put on this list, but I totally agree with you. Leave all your thoughts and opinions down below. But with that being said, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you had an incredible day, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye.